All right, hey Greek students, welcome to Vocabulary for the Mounce textbook, chapters 11 and 12, where we were learning about the first and second, chapter 11, which is about first and second person personal pronouns, and then chapter 12, which is about the third person personal pronoun, autos. So we're going to go through this, and you can say these after me. So here we go. Adelphos, adelphos. Ha adelphos means brother. Usually when you see adelphoi, it is generally inclusive in the New Testament, brothers and sisters, but the basic meaning of adelphos is brother. We go down to on, say on. On is an interesting, is a particle is what we call it. It's uninflected. You'll see it often, but you'll oftentimes see it connected with another word like aon, or you'll see it with kai or something like that. But usually you can't translate it. It simply makes it a dependent clause with a hina clause or something like that. So log that one in. We'll look at it when we hit the workbook stuff. All right. Our next noun, aner, aner. Aner means man, male, or husband. The husband, the aner of one gune, the husband of one wife, in 1 Timothy. Ha aner, man, male, husband. So in this case, it is masculine. Notice that aner is a third declension noun, and the stem of aner is actually ond, onder or onder. In the chapter, it declines a lot like pater, which is going to be one of our words down there. But if you want to see a full paradigm for aner, you can look in your book on page 348 at the bottom of the page, third column over. There's a full paradigm for aner and how that declines. Really what you're looking for, you don't have to memorize this. You're just looking to try to recognize it. So aner, you can see that there. So like, for example, aner, if just to remember this, if someone is androgynous, is someone that is aner and gune both, male and female, but you can take a look at that aner. Okay, this is a different word than anthropos. Anthropos is a little bit more of a generic term for man or mankind, but aner usually is not inclusive of different genders. Aner is typically male or man or husband. Okay. All right. Ecclesia. Ecclesia. Ecclesia is a gathering, an assembly, but it does take on more of an idiomatic meaning of a church, but it literally means an assembly. Ecclesia. Hey, ecclesia. It's feminine. There's a time in the book of Acts where an ecclesia is like a riotous mob, which maybe your church is like that. But ecclesia can be generally assembly, which is probably why like a denomination like Assemblies of God go with more of rather than Church of God, they are assemblies, and ecclesiae. Hey, ecclesia. All right. Elpis. Elpis. Notice that elpis means hope or expectation. I always remember this because Elpis sounds like Elvis, and a lot of Elvis fans hope that he's alive. So I always remember Elpis as, anyway, there you go. The Elpis is a third declension noun. There's a paradigm for it in the chapter that we just did on page 94. You can see the stem is elpid, and so elpidos, elpidos, elpidi, elpida, elpides, elpidon, elpisi, elpidos. So there you go. There's elpis, hope or expectation. All right. Exo. Exo. Exo means without or outside. I always remember this because I taught entomology for outdoor education. And we studied insects in entomology. And insects have an exoskeleton, an outside skeleton, exo. So there you go, exo. Does he have anything in here about? No exoskeleton in here. So yeah, exo, outside. All right, epi. Epi means on, over, or when in the genitive. Epi you'll have this, the elision of the iota is ep, or the aspiration of the P, which is F. And dative in the genitive is on, over, or when. In the dative is on the basis of or at. In the accusative is on, to, or against. So on, over, or when, like an epidermis, a skin is something that goes over, is the outer layer of skin, or that which is on the skin, an epidermis. So epi, on. So notice how if you're like, this is in the genitive, what do I translate this? Well, go with on. On is a good shot, but you want to get it down to its best form. So that's epi. Okay, hey mace, hey mace. We went through the paradigm of this. This is the first person personal pronoun. Actually, this is the first person plural, hey mace. We're memorizing it as a vocabulary word, but the genitive, but the lexical form of hey mace is always ego. Just a reminder on that hey mace, though we have it as a vocabulary word because it's so unique, but that the lexical form is ego because the first person, or the singular form is the vocabulary word, just like humace that we're going to see later, that the lexical form is su. All right? So, hey mace. All right, here we go. Thelema, thelema. And then this is a mot stem. Thelema means will or desire. Thelema is a mot stem, and so all mot stems are neuter. We learned that before. We're reminding you of it, like chrema, like pneuma, like soma, like anima. These are all mot stems, and they are all neuter. I always remember this because I had an Aunt Thelma, God rest her soul. And my Aunt Thelma, she was awesome, but she had very strong opinions. She was very willful and beautiful and awesome. But I always remember thelema means will because my Aunt Thelma was a very strong-willed, wonderful person. And it just brings a real joy to me to remember my Aunt Thelma. Anyway, thelema, ta. All right, ide, ide, see, behold. Very similar to idu. See, behold. You'll see this quite a bit in the Gospels, or someone will say, ide, idu, behold. Check this out. So ide and idu mean behold. They are interjections. Kalas, kale, kalan, beautiful or good. Beautiful or good. As opposed to like kakos, which is bad or evil, kalos is beautiful or good. It is an adjective. All right. Mater, mater, mother. Notice that the stem of mater is, here's mater, but matros is our genitive singular form because it is third declension. That's a genitive ending there. And mater, as you might imagine, is feminine, mother. As opposed to pater, which we're going to see down here. Pater is father, and patros is the genitive singular form. Ha, pater, he, mater. So mater and pater go together, mother and father. Okay. Ude, ude, two words together, de and u, a negation. So and not, or not even, neither or nor. Ude. Let's go down. All right. Pistis, pistis. And then the genitive singular form is pisteos. Pistis is a feminine noun. It means faith or belief. Pistis is kind of an interesting noun in the sense that this iota is what is called a consonantal iota. So it's technically a third declension noun, and you can see the whole paradigm of pistis on page 95. So take a look at that. But it behaves a little strangely because that consonantal iota is going to shift to an epsilon when you add various endings, and the omicron sigma that is going to contract into an omega. It's going to elide, not elide, it's going to crassus, it's going to extend. It's going to lengthen, I should say, with that. So faith, belief, pistis. Okay. Hudor. Hudor means water. So like you might get what, hudat. Like hydro, something that is hydroelectric. A hydroelectric dam, hudor electric, is a water. It produces electricity by water. Hudatas and ta. Hudor has a dot stem to it, and it is neuter. So you can see the third declension pattern of this word in 11.15. And it's the same pattern as pater. So hudor, hudatas, hudati, hudor, hudata, hudaton, hudasi, hudata. And hudat is so fun to say. So hudat, hudata. Okay, there we go. Humes, humes. This is the second person plural version of su. So humes. Phos. Phos is light. The stem of phos is phot, like a photo. So that's how I remember phos, like a photos. Is a photograph is a writing of light, and that's how that works. Phos is a neuter noun. Phos. All right, charis. Charis means grace. This is a very strong theological word here. Charis is a feminine noun, and this feminine noun has a stem with the iota tau. Charit is the stem of charis. Grace, favor. You can see the paradigm for charis on page 94, 11.11. And then hoda, hoda. Hoda means here. All right, we're going to move over to our next chapter, chapter 12, and which is the chapter on autos, the third person personal pronoun. I'm going to work through these vocabulary words just so that we can get these down. Aion. Aion means age or eternity. And then ionos, ha aion, age or eternity. The idioms eston iona means forever. So into the age or into the ages of the ages, both mean forever. So that is a vocabulary word you're going to see quite a bit. Okay? Didaskalos. Didaskalos. Ha didaskalos. It means teacher. And didaskalos, like the didactic method or something like that, didaskalos is teacher. Okay. Euthus. Euthus. Euthus means immediately. This is in here because the Gospel of Mark. Euthus means immediately, and the Gospel of Mark includes this quite a bit. And I would imagine that most of these occurrences are from Mark. So this happens a lot. A lot of narrative literature, you'll see this. Heos. Heos. Notice the rough breather on heos. Until, or if it's a preposition, it will mean as far as. Heos. I'm going to move this up here to mathetes. I'm sorry, mathetes. Mathetes. So mathetes, ha mathetes, means disciple. Mathetes is interesting. It's like prophetes. And this is a kind of a unique word because it is masculine, so it takes masculine endings, but it ends in an eta, which makes it first declension. So here's an example of a masculine first declension noun, like prophetes. So it takes masculine endings, even though it is first declension. All right. Ha mathetes. Again, disciples, that's going to be gospels. We're going to see this quite a bit. And it basically means learner. Mathetes means learner or disciple. That's what disciple means. It means someone who learns under. All right, men. Men means on the one hand or indeed. It is a postpositive. Oftentimes it'll be used with another word and it'll kind of set up a sentence, the structure of a sentence. Men and de or something like that. Okay. We learned last chapter, udes, udemia, uden, but this is medes, medemia, Maiden means no one or nothing. Okay, it defines just like oudes. So oudes and medes mean the same thing, no one, nothing. All right. Monos is a adjective, means alone or only. Monos, so monos, mane, monon. What does he say in here? Oh, if you are monogamous. Monogamous. Gamos is a marriage, and mono means alone or only. And so one is the idea. So this happens quite a bit, but monos means alone or only. Okay. Hapos, how, that, or in order that. Hapos. You're going to find that these little particles like men, on, hapos, these are the things that are going to be on your I can't remember it ring on your vocabulary rings. So keep at them, but hapos means how, that, or in order that. All right. Hasos, as great as or as many as. Hasos, hase, hasan. So hasos, you'll see every once in a while, not a ton, 110 times, but enough to be something to memorize. Hasos, hase, hasan. There you go. Okay, un means therefore or then. It is also a postpositive. It will never begin a sentence, but we will translate it as therefore at the beginning of a sentence in English. All right. Ophthalmos, ha-ophthalmos, the eye or sight, but like an optometrist, ophthalmologist is a doctor who specializes in eyes. So ophthalmos. All right, here we go. Pollen means again. Pollen, again. Okay. Pous, ha-pous means foot. Podos, notice that the stem of pous is pod, and it is a third declension noun, and so that's why it has a third declension ending, and the whole stem shows up here in the genitive singular form. I always remember this because pod, one of the books that I like from C.S. Lewis in the Chronicles of Narnia, is The Voyage of the Dawn Treader, and in The Voyage of the Dawn Treader they show up on an island where there are these one-legged, one-footed things that hop around, and they are called monopods, one pod, which actually, if you think about this chapter, you've got monos up here and pod down here, and so monopod is actually an interesting, you could remember both of these things by that one Voyage of the Dawn Treader word, the one-footed things. So podos, pous or podos. Huper means in behalf of, or and a lot of times this is used in terms of substitutionary atonement. Christ died huper humon, or huper hemon, that Christ died for us, on behalf of us. But another way to remember this, huper in the accusative means above, and sometimes people remember this because you have hoop hair above your head if you have a hoop. All right, hoop hair. There you go. There you go. Well, those are my musings on vocabulary for chapters 11 and 12. 62% of the New Testament. Good job, everybody. That's 6 out of 10 words in the New Testament that you can recognize if you get this vocab down. All right. Keep up the good work. Memorize your vocab, and I'll see you on the next episode of Vocabulary.